Are you ready? Let's talk smack.
Right into it. And welcome to the next episode of Talk Smack with Mac. What's going on?
Not much. What's going on with you?
I'm good. I got a returning guest, Stephanie, back on the podcast. I'm very excited, very humbled, very blessed. Thank you for blessing me with your presence. I know you are so busy and have so many things to do, but how have you been?
Well, thank you again for having me on here. I really love coming on here and talking with you. I've been great. Just, getting some stuff done with the business like we talked about last time. Doing some classes, finishing up that degree. That's about it.
I can dig it. Well, today's a little bit different on the podcast. We are not talking about sports. We are going to talk about another love of mine, and it happens to be yours too. Horror movies or shows. I love it. I'm obsessed. Obviously, you guys, see my tattoos. Horror has been such a staple in my life since I was a little kid. I believe I was watching horror movies as early as, I'm going to say, like 3 or 4 that I can remember. And it wasn't just, your Halloween Towns on Disney Channel. I was watching some slasher killer shit, and I liked it. I don't know. Does that make me a weird kid?
No, I think that's kind of normal. I mean, I
Yeah.
remember my parents actually didn't let me watch horror movies. My dad had, I think, the first one I saw was one of the Child's Plays. And my mom was like, no, Steve, don't let her watch that. She's going to have nightmares. And I was like, no, you have to let me watch it. He's got a knife to some kid's throat. I got to see what happens to this poor kid. I don't even remember which one it was, to be honest with you. That's the only scene I remember. And I just remember being so mad at my mom because she made my dad change the channel. And then I remember some of the first, I guess, horror movies that I watched would have been, there was this one about Komodo dragons. And they would just eat people. And I remember the first scene.
Wow.
Yeah, the first
B-rated.
scene. B-rated. I don't remember. I mean, it was from the 90s, so yeah, maybe. But I remember the first scene is it crawls through the dog door and eats this kid's dog or something like that.
What kind of dog was it?
I don't know, like Chihuahua or something like
Oh, I was gonna say, do you think it would take out Jax?
Oh no, I think
Jax is putting up a fight.
Well, with the 2 dogs too, I think.
Oh yeah, we're taking the fucking dragon out.
Yeah.
You don't want these problems in my house.
No.
You better be prepared. If you try to come in my house and eat my dog or do something, you got a rude motherfucking awakening.
I agree.
That's 2 big ass dogs that's gonna prance on you.
Definitely.
But as a kid, let's say 2 movies that right off the top of my head, horror movies that I remember watching would be 13 Ghosts, which is a staple. If you are somewhere around my age, give or take a couple years, 13 Ghosts.
Yeah.
And 13 Ghosts, I guarantee, gave you nightmares a few times. That movie is very underrated and was scary as fuck.
I agree.
And the other one is Redneck Zombies.
I don't think I've ever seen that one.
Don't. It's horrible.
It sounds like
it's fucking horrible. It's
like,
exactly what you think it is.
Like the killer clowns of outer space. I mean, those
but
are
the
horrible,
zombie version.
Yeah.
Well, Killer Clowns from Outer Space is a classic because it is so bad.
Yeah, no, it's beautiful though.
Redneck Zombies just sucks. But I used to be obsessed as a kid, but I don't know why. So let me ask you, what is your favorite subgenre of horror and why?
Oh, that's hard.
I'm gonna talk shit too if it's not what mine is.
You probably know it's not because I know you're into the slasher films and stuff.
Oh,
that's
she
not
gave
me.
you away.
That's not me. I can't. It's too much. I need the plot is great. We're gonna just hack up some people. That's awesome. But I need a little more. I need to know, why does he want to hack up those people? What went wrong in his life? I need more from my horror films.
You find that out at the end in slasher.
No.
All right, so what is yours then?
I guess it's kind of hard to explain. I mean,
we got time.
I'm really good with the ghost ones, and I'm biased, so anything Stephen King touches is like gold to me. So sorry. And I love it, so whatever what genre that would be.
I'm gonna put that in paranormal.
Maybe the
ghosts,
unknown.
Kind of.
Yeah.
I think ghost movies are fucking horrible.
Yeah, I knew you were
Most
gonna
of
say that.
them.
You've told me that.
They're just, they don't do it for me. You
Mhm.
know, for as long as we've been on this planet and we have not had more public encounters with the other side, paranormal, right? I'm not fucking scared of that shit. Now, say a big motherfucker from down the street is chasing me with a knife or,
Mhm.
machete or
Right,
something.
right.
I'm going to be terrified. Never go upstairs. Stay downstairs.
True, but I think the main appeal with like a ghost thing is not like a human. You can't kill it. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? You can't just stab it with your kitchen knife and call it a day. Horror movie's over. There's so much other things you have to go through. And especially when you look at like the demonic kind of ones, I mean, you
Mhm.
got to get a whole priest involved and he might not want to do it, and then there's all the other stuff. You got possession going on. And so, Michael Myers can't jump in your skin, but a ghost can.
I feel you on that. And let me defend the paranormal subgenre of horror by saying the best ones are great movies.
I agree.
But overall they're not that good to me. I don't get scared too much. But the really, really good ones are good.
That's true.
Exorcist.
Yeah.
Come
Oh
on,
my
man.
God. That's a good
She's
one.
a focal
Mhm.
point on my arm for a reason. That's an all-time great movie. They did a really good job. The Conjuring movies are pretty good.
I love those. And then I think the Insidious is a little bit lower, but they're still kind of good.
So it took me a long time to watch the Insidious
Mhm.
movies, but I will give it some. They were good. Um, I remember particularly, I want to say the first one was the best.
I always get them mixed up the what
Yeah.
order they're in, to be honest.
They're not that good then, if you can't distinguish the different.
Okay, fair.
All right, so you are doing some badass shit that I'm jealous about. You are in a horror films class
Mhm.
at UNLV.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tell us about that.
It's a lot of fun, honestly. I just took it as like a GPA booster, just something easy. Every week we go over a certain like genre of horror films, like we were just talking about,
Mhm.
and then we'll watch them in class or you can watch them at home. And then we kind of just have like an open discussion about, the purpose of the movie. She's got some nice lectures about why that was scary at that time, as opposed to why it's not scary today.
Mhm.
It's just really a great class.
I wish I would have took that class just because. I
Mhm.
think it would have made me very happy. But does it teach you the creativity of horror movies? Like, do you guys go over the different camera angles, high versus low, shit like that, different ways and techniques that have been used over the years to kind of define
Mhm.
the genre of horror? You know what I'm saying?
We do, but not in the sense of like camera angles and stuff like that. It is
Mhm.
like an entry level film class, and it's more of a film appreciation class than it is
Mhm.
like this is how this was constructed. I'm sure there's another class you could take where you can go over that kind of stuff, but for
Mhm.
this one, we're really just focusing on the fear aspect. Why is it scary? What did they do to make that character scary? And from what kind of social anxiety did that kind of fear kind of arise from?
I got you. So let me ask you, what scares you? What horror movies scare you?
I personally, I don't like any of the ones with like mutilation. So like the Saw
Just too
movies,
much.
nobody wants to be cut up at the end of the day, honestly. Like, so those ones scare me. And then we talk about in class, like there's this overarching fear that we all kind of experience. And for the class, that was defined as the fear of the unknown, which is like a fear that we all have. It's like the
Mhm.
top of all the fears. And so a lot of movies where there's something unknown going on, those are the kind that scare me. So that's why I brought up it earlier, because we don't really know. The book and the movie are kind of very vague about what it is. For the first movie that they made, he was like some kind of alien spider thing. I don't know what was going on in that, but and then in the other movie, he kind of just died off into the well or whatever. So it's like that unknown factor.
Mhm.
That's kind of what scares me the most.
Are you a fan of The Mist?
I fucking love The Mist.
That's a big unknown because if anything, it could be, your wildest fantasies
Yeah.
inside of The Mist, and
Yeah.
people are screaming because they're enjoying it so much.
Maybe. that I love The Mist, and I know everybody's really you either love or hate the ending.
It's one of the best endings
I
I've ever
fucking
seen.
loved the
Yeah.
ending. Oh my god.
Can you imagine being in that position? You're like, okay, this mist is coming. It's gonna kill my two friends or the two people that I've been rocking with through this whole thing, and it's gonna take my child. It could be
Yeah.
miserable. They could be tortured. Instead, I will bear that shoulder because we only have enough bullets to take you guys out. I gotta kill my friend, kill another friend, and then kill
And
my
then some.
child.
And then I'm left here.
And then I'm left here to deal what's coming in this mess,
Yeah.
just to find out that it's the heroes that are saving the day.
I love that. I know a lot of people were like, no, I hated it. Why did they do that? But it was that emotion that it invoked for me that made it so good.
Yes, when a horror movie can take different feelings and make you feel, I guess, hopeless.
Yeah.
That's when you know
I
it's
love
good.
that.
When you are
I
truly
loved it.
like speechless or just sitting there cringing or like, holy shit, I can't believe that just happened.
Yeah.
Anytime a movie or a horror movie more specifically can do that for me, I'm gonna put it up there.
Oh, I love The Mist.
It's got to be creative too. So speaking of creativity, let me ask you, how did you like the movie Cabin in the Woods?
Reminded me of that one. That's the one with the. Is that the girl in there? I have to go over it a little bit.
Yeah, you narrowed it down.
Oh yeah, sorry.
The girls in there, ladies and gentlemen. No, the group of friends go to a cabin and
in the woods.
I bet. Yeah. Thor's in it. What's his name? Chris Hemsworth.
Shit.
He's in it. He plays an interesting character. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that sucks for you, but if you know, you know. But no, the stoner in the movie ends up, staying alive because the weed helped deviate off of the chemicals that they released in the cabin. But no, it was basically the kids that went to the cabin was a sacrifice to, I guess, the devils or the demons, below the earth or some shit like that. So a group of scientists annually, I believe, put together this sacrifice, and they randomize which monster is going to kill them or what storyline they're going to take.
Okay, so that's kind of like a little similar to like the 13 Ghosts kind of plot, like a little bit.
A little.
Got a little kind of, because there's still people, kind of pulling the strings.
Yes.
I remember that.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I kind of like that one.
And then for a while, it's you feel like the scientists are actually pulling the strings, but really they're just scared to fucking death, making the ultimate sacrifice.
Yeah.
Then at the end of the movie, you see what happens if they do or don't make that sacrifice. Check it out, Cabin in the Woods. I like that movie.
It was a good movie.
It was.
And now that you mentioned it, I know exactly what you're talking about. You should check it out.
It's different. It's creative.
Yeah.
It made me think a lot. Horror icons. Your top three.
You mean character-wise?
I mean, if they're a good horror character, I'm assuming they're a horror icon.
Okay, sassy. Anyway, so we already know that I'm very biased to Stephen King, so we're gonna have to start with it, obviously.
I mean, if he made the arm, I'm not gonna.
That's true, and it was that one
argue.
too. I mean, the new one's cool, but for me, I remember we went to New York, and I think I was like, must have been like 10, maybe 13, that kind of area.
Mm-hmm.
And I just remember I was really into horror movies, and my dad was like, well, if you really like horror movies, you should check out this one I saw when I was little, scared the shit out of me. It's about a clown. And I was like, go get the movie. So we rented it because it was back when they had like, Blockbuster, and you had to go rent. Yeah.
Blockbuster, Hollywood Video.
R.I.P. And it was one of those times we had to go and get a movie from there. You couldn't stream it. And I just remember I loved it. I was fascinated by it. I mean, it scared me, but I was obsessed with it in a weird way. And I remember I went to school the next semester, and I printed out like clip art of the movie, and I decorated my binder. Yeah, and I was that weird girl with the clowns on her binder, but I was like, it's such a good movie though, guys.
Those are the girls that I liked in school. I related to them a little bit more.
The weird ones.
Yeah. I like to be attracted or attract by being weird and different.
Yeah.
Let me tell you the weird shit I like, and if you like it, that's weird. I like it.
I agree though. Like people would like, I think they met like maybe 3 people who were like, oh yeah, that's that clown movie, huh? And I was like, yeah.
The clown movie. Just by them saying the clown movie.
That yeah,
I'd
but
be like,
it was a little bit. It was more than just, oh, you like weird clowns, huh? It's like, he's
Yeah.
not weird.
Yeah, you're weird. You like
He
this and
lives
you
in the
like
sewer.
that.
He's gonna get you.
You know what I liked about the remake was that
Mhm.
it dove deeper and explained
Oh yeah.
it a lot
Yeah.
more. I feel like most of us were confused as fuck for, however 20 years or 25 years, whatever
I was
it
so
was.
confused, especially the end where he's like a spaceship kind of bug thing, and
Yeah.
he's also a spider. It's
Yeah,
like,
it's
what
like,
are
what
you?
is going on? We're gonna
Yeah.
skip this part.
I usually do. I usually
Yeah,
don't watch
watch the first
end.
part with the kids, and
Yeah.
then the second part is just like, do I really
Exactly.
want to dedicate this much time to this
Exactly.
shit? I know what
Exactly.
happens. I've seen it a bunch of times. It's not that great.
But I love it.
But then the remake, I feel like they were both good. The second part was hands down way better.
Mhm.
It wasn't scary, the remake.
No, but I don't think its point was to be scary in, like your general like pop out at you way. I think it was more like the idea of
Mhm.
like you being a kid, you're already like, you rely on mom and dad and adults to help you. What do you do when the adults can't see this thing that's
Mhm.
tormenting you? And I think that's what's meant to be scary. And
Yeah.
then to take that childhood fear that's so like innate and that shaped you and bring it back up into your adult life, I think that's where like the fear lies,
Yeah.
Whereas like a ghost movie would be like they want to pop out and scare you.
Hmm.
So I think that's where the difference would be.
And I really enjoyed that he was everybody's worst fear.
Mm-hmm.
He switched for every person.
Yeah,
And I feel like that's what truly makes him terrifying.
exactly.
Yeah.
He literally is your worst fear, and he knows what it is,
Yeah. Okay, so you got Pennywise.
Mm-hmm.
Who's next?
Oh, gee. I don't know. Why don't you do one?
Number 1 for me is Michael Myers.
Okay.
Yeah,
I knew that was coming.
for sure.
I do like Michael Myers. I think he might be kind of like tied with like Freddy Krueger.
So those would be your top 3?
I
Or are
would
you
say-
going to
I
say
would
Michael
say- I would
Myers,
say
Freddy
that
Krueger, and Jason are
they
all in the
kind of
same
like, number
level?
4, like kind of like a line, because in a way, in my mind, even though the movies are vastly different, they're kind of similar. There's still like a human kind of entity or a
Mhm.
human like, even though we talked about, how
Michael
Michael
Myers
Myers
is more
demonic kind of
yeah.
thing. Yeah, no, but I think for me, it's still got that human aspect. So it takes a level of fear out, because it's like I can kill a human,
Mhm.
So
Shit, when you have a 6'6", 280-pound Jason Voorhees coming at you, fuck that.
That's true.
I
Okay.
can't kill that.
Well, I got a gun at home, so
Shoot it. I have a gun upstairs. That's not gonna do shit to that big motherfucker.
you gotta hit him in the head a couple times. You gotta have real good aim. If you've got good aim, I've got pretty good aim, so I'm kind of comfortable with
I'm
where
all
I'm at
right.
right now.
I mean, I got 17 shots, so I'm bound to hit the head a
Eventually,
couple times.
eventually,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, all
shit.
the way
Oh,
around.
there we go.
It's
That was a
fine.
good one.
It's fine.
Yeah, I can dig it. All right, so give me a more specific answer. You categorize those 3, but who's making your top 3 with Pennywise?
I would say I would probably agree with you and do Michael Myers.
My man. I put on for the homie.
But then I think after that it would be I think Jason would have to go last.
So Pennywise, Michael Myers, and Jason.
Yeah.
That's a dope top 3.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's tough to narrow it down to just 3.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of feel like mine are a bit biased. 80s slasher movies are definitely my favorite. So I would have to put Michael Myers 1, Jason 2, and then that third horror icon slot. I'm not too sure. It's tough. Freddy Krueger is right there.
What's scary is
let me take a peek.
that Saw guy. He kind of scares the fuck out
Yeah,
of me.
Jigsaw, he's newer, but it's like, does he make it? And if so, when you think of Saw and Jigsaw, what do you think of? Do you think of the old man and his head, his face? Do you think of the pig mask that they wear when they capture people? Do you think of a Jigsaw piece with the little, initials on there?
I think of we were talking about this the other day when the first time I ever saw, because I didn't go see them in order, I was kind of terrified when they first came out because it was so gory for me. And, you know, gore, that really makes me uncomfortable. You know, it kind of scares me more than like a Pennywise would, you know. But so I didn't go see them. And I remember it was on one day and I was like, okay, I'm going to watch it. I just got to do it. You know, it's a horror thing that's right up my alley. I don't know why I'm so scared. So I watch it, and it's this one scene where this guy picks this girl up, one of the victims, and throws her into a pile of needles. And
Saw 2,
yeah,
ladies and gentlemen.
yeah, I remember just that scene. I was like, I'm done. I had to change channel. I didn't watch it for like 3 years after that.
He picked her up and threw her in that pit, and then she had to scrape and throw
Yeah.
needles. So
Yeah.
can you imagine like just going in your hands and you're
Everywhere,
throwing
and
them
she
letting them
she
go?
threw her in, so she's got to
They're
have them on her
deep.
thighs.
Yeah, they're
like,
they're deep in her
yeah.
thighs or calves or
Yeah.
arms. Ooh. Yeah, Saw
That for
2 is
me.
definitely my
That for
favorite
me.
one. Definitely. So my third slot though, it's a toss up. It's tough. But I'm gonna give it to this little chick, man.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And the reason why I will put her in there is because that is one of the few movies growing up that I have met a lot of people say, I will not allow that in my house.
Mhm.
I won't even allow the case in my house.
Yeah.
That movie will not be played in here.
I hear that a lot, especially like Catholic people too. They're
Ah,
terrified of The Exorcist.
And for that movie to come out so long ago and
Mhm.
for it to hold still like
Oh, it's iconic.
way
it's
up here.
It's going to be iconic forever.
Yeah. I got to put her there.
You know, I heard they were going to redo it.
I don't know if I
I'll throw
would
a
want
fit.
them to.
I'll throw a fit. I'm always biased to the new
You
mix.
know what? Sometimes they do it right.
They do. Okay.
My all-time favorite scary movie trilogy or franchise is Evil Dead.
Okay. Yeah.
When they
we did watch
remade
that.
Evil Dead, it's
Yeah.
fucking phenomenal.
Mhm.
It's phenomenal. It was a good movie. It was
Yeah.
scary. So I'm not opposed to remakes or reboots, but you better do it right.
I agree. If it's worse, we're going to have a problem.
Yes, which leads me right into my next series of questions.
Mhm.
Scream 5 is announced. So they're coming back. You know, I watched all the Screams throughout October.
Mhm.
And Dewey, Sydney, and Courtney Cox's character, I forget her name, they have survived this serial killings 4 times.
Right.
They all got to go. They
Oh, I agree.
all have to die.
Yeah.
And my idea is, why not have Sydney be the opening death for Scream 5?
I like that.
The opening deaths in all the Scream movies are supposed to get, you know, people going. And the first one, Drew
Right.
Barrymore got slashed. Second one, Jada Pinkett got killed in a movie theater. So it's always a big thing. In the fourth one, it was like 10 people that died. It was weird. But the fifth one, kill Sydney, set the tone.
Mhm.
And then the next killings would be Sydney, would be Dewey, would be Courtney Cox's character. Any of the people that survived the first 4 movies, they gotta go. They gotta die.
No, I agree. Because at some point you gotta like change it up a little bit, or you're just showing the same movie over and over again. So I agree with you on that. You got to kill him.
And see, that makes me also, I think Sydney Prescott, the main character of Scream, is top 3 most badass survivors of all horror movies. She is the main person trying to be killed every single time, and they just can't do it.
Yeah.
Whether she lucks out and for some reason they didn't just wax her when they had the chance, or she gets away, she's badass.
Yeah.
Killing her first would set the tone for that movie so high that, come on, man.
I agree. Yeah. No, I think they should. You should write to them and be like, make sure you did this.
I'm just gonna snippet that and put it on YouTube, see who watches it.
I agree.
It's a good one.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool.
I
think
so
they
too.
should, because then what are you going to do? You're going to have to wait for the next Scream and the next one. And it's the same thing over and over again. That would be a problem.
Who's the new main character of the franchise? But we'll see what happens. I think it comes out in like a year or 2, so we have some time to wait. What is a scary movie that has came out in the last decade or 2 that really caught your eye that you think is great?
You know, Hereditary kind of scared me a little bit.
Hereditary, that's fairly new. Came out a couple years ago, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's
maybe this year.
2018. I thought.
Yeah,
though.
2018. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, that one scared me a little bit. I did not see. If you haven't seen it, you need to turn this off right now. But I didn't see the part coming where she gets decapitated by the phone pole. That to me was just. It was just an
Brilliant.
amazing scene. I was like, yes. And then the brother is traumatized, and he's such a good actor. Like you could read the trauma on his face, and I'm just like that. It was crazy.
I know I told you I watched it before. Starting to second guess myself.
Oh, you haven't seen it? Oh no.
I might have to go back and watch it.
It was one of those.
I want to say I've seen it though.
Yeah. It was one of those ones where like it starts out a little slow. You're like, where is this going? And then it's like one thing after the other. It's like, what did I get myself into?
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
I like fucked up shit.
We know.
Have you seen The Green Inferno?
I haven't watched that, but I wanted to. I thought it was on like
that was good.
It was on Netflix or something like that. And I was reading the reviews and they weren't that great. So I kind of talked myself out of it. But I've also.
It's not the greatest, but I mean, it's up my alley. I don't think you'll like it. It's pretty gory, but.
I mean, I'll still watch them. I still watch the Saw movies now, because now I'm like, oh, Saw's on. Let's go. Which one is it? Like, it's a surprise.
Would you do the Saw escape room? We'll talk about that after.
Oh, I'm thinking about it.
So my movie or series that I want to mention that is coming out, came out, is The Collector and the Collection. The Collection, the second one particularly, is great. I think that was such a great movie. I believe The Collector, the first one, was supposed to be either like a reboot or a sequel to Saw.
Right.
And something happened with the rights, so they kind of shifted the movie a little bit. But that's kind of like the genre that you're looking for is The Collector and the Collection is kind of like Saw, but different.
Right,
Same,
right,
but different.
Yeah. No, that kind of stuff terrifies me.
I highly recommend going back and watching that if you have not. The Collector, The Collection, 1 and 2, great movies. A movie now that has came out, I want to say in the last 3 years, The Escape Room. So I know there's like fucking 4 escape room movies, but there's one particular one is B-rated. The main killer from Scream, Sydney's boyfriend.
Bad with names.
He's in that movie. Oh yeah, I don't know his name
terrible.
either. But when you see him, you're gonna be like, oh, that's Billy from Scream.
Oh yeah, okay.
You know? So he's in it. That's the one that I want you guys to check out that I'm talking about. So the plot is Billy has a failing escape room. So he goes to like an antique shop to buy something to kind of spruce up the escape room, make it seem dope, make it seem a little bit scarier. And he ends up buying like this demonic piece that he puts in the escape room. And the group that goes in the escape room releases the demon from that piece, and it takes over the character that's in the escape room with them. So on the far end of the escape room, it's dark, and as time goes by, a lot of time, the person on that wall he's chained to the wall,
right?
And over like every 5 minutes or whatever, the chain releases a little bit more, so he's able to walk out.
Yeah.
Their job is to escape the escape room before that chain gets released all the way, because the character gets you lose.
Yeah.
But since that demon figure possesses his body, this dude is fucking getting arm's reach, and he's fucking you up, killing you.
That's crazy. I've never seen that one, now that you mentioned it.
And the entire movie is like, damn near the entire movie, they're just filmed in the escape room. So you're like watching them trying to escape from the room, trying all different types of things. And this dude is just sitting there waiting. And you see him, it's like, holy shit, chain comes out a little bit more. Oh my God, he's getting closer.
That's crazy.
It's a good movie. I like it.
Have you seen something that, like, there was a bunch of ideas that came to my mind when you were talking about that. There's a couple of other escape rooms I saw. There's this one where it's like this father-daughter couple, or not a couple, they're a pair.
Team.
And they do an escape room together, and like they have to sign this waiver. And long story short, at the end of it, they realize they're in this continuous loop of having to go through the escape room over and over and over and relive it. And then there's this other one too. It's that one where they turn up the heat in this room and they have to solve the puzzles together. With
the chick from True Blood, yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I've seen that one. That was the one, like the mainstream one that was in theaters. It was okay.
Yours sounds more intense.
So Mine is more like scary as fuck. That one is more like a thriller, in my opinion.
I would agree. No, I would agree. Especially when they start doing drugs at the end, it takes away kind of like the horror aspect.
Yeah,
You know?
it's like,
oh,
oh,
it's a thriller.
these guys are trying to set them up and fucking kill them.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Same shit.
Did you see the platform on Netflix?
No, what's that about?
Oh, that's a good one. So this guy like signs up to be in this like prison experiment, and it's this huge tower that all these prisoners are imprisoned on the floor. So one after another, a certain number. Usually it's like 2 to a prison cell. And this platform comes down and only stays for a certain time on each level. And it's full of food, but there's thousands of like floors. So by the time it gets to the bottom, the people at the bottom don't have any food. And the entire thing is based on you'll go to sleep and you'll wake up on a different floor. So you don't know if this month you're on the top floor and you get to feast, or if you're at the bottom floor and you're getting nothing. And it's a crazy little
It's
like
called
psychological.
Platform.
Yeah. I think it was on
Okay.
Netflix. It was so good. I thought it was original. You know, I thought it was really good.
She has good opinions in scary movies or thrillers. So Platform, check it out.
I would, yeah.
If her opinion sucked, I'll let you guys know. Like, you know, maybe I'll make like an extra video that says whatever the fuck Stephanie said about horror movies, disregard.
You have to watch it first.
But no, her opinions matter. So yeah, check it out. Platform.
I liked it.
I might get to it. Who knows?
You have a lot to get to from my recommendations, so you better get going.
Yeah, I know. Huh? School's kicking my ass so bad. I never really had time
you
to
have
watch
to
them.
watch Ghostland. Now you got to watch Platform. Stephanie, because that's my namesake. It makes sense. Got work to do.
I do. You know what? I got a couple of accounting tests coming up, but after that, like December, January, no school.
Oh yeah,
I'm just watching.
That's
movies.
just cruising.
That's all I'm doing.
You got to get back to me once you watch those. Let me know how you thought about them.
I will.
Okay.
I'll get back to you for sure.
We can talk about it here too, and maybe they want to know.
Oh, follow up. I might give me some incentive. I might have to get back to it faster.
Okay.
Fuck around. I'll watch them tonight. Does that mean you come back on Thursday or Friday? Shit.
I'm busy, but.
All right, if that's the case, fuck those movies. I'll watch them when I get to them.
All right.
Yeah, no. Also, The Green Room. The Green Room is one that's on Netflix.
Inferno or The Green Room?
No, The Green Room. This is something else.
I saw that one too, and that was another one I talked myself out.
I like that one. It was gory. It's definitely a thriller. It's not a horror movie, but it's fucked up. So it's right up my alley.
Perfect.
I like fucked up. And yeah. Let me ask you. One-on-one, what horror icon wins? Everything plays into account. If you shoot fireballs, you can shoot fireballs. If you know, you make motherfuckers go to sleep and you're immortal in your dreams, that plays account. If you can get his big ass to sleep or that little person to sleep, you get to use your sleep powers, Freddie. Who's winning?
The top. Like if we had to fight all these guys together, who's at the top?
Yep, one-on-one. Who is the most badass one-on-one motherfucker?
Oh, jeez. I can't say Pennywise. I talk too much about him today, so even though I love him.
If you want to go with Pennywise, I'll choose my guy and we can battle it out.
No. I would have to probably.
It's a hard question because there's so many.
Well, because I'm trying to think like, okay, if I pair those two up together, where's going to be the weakness and where's going to be the strength? And then, if we move to this guy and this guy, it's like.
All right. So to narrow it down.
Okay.
Let's name a few matchups.
Okay.
And then we'll talk about why we think that person should win and why.
Okay. So we'd have to obviously do
Jason and Michael Myeres first.
I was just about to say that.
I would have to say Jason.
I think I would agree because as we talked about the other day,
Jason is bigger, he's stronger. But the thing that gets me is that Michael Myeres is still in a human body. He's with all these these sequels and shit, we don't really know what Michael Myeres is. Is he a dynamic figure or is he just a crazy motherfucker?
Right.
We don't really know. But Jason, it is the writer of one of the Jason movies says that Jason is a Necronomicon. He's brought back by the Book of the Dead from Evil Dead. Do your due diligence if you want to question me on this shit. So if Jason is a demonic figure or a Necronomicon,
That gives him different powers. Yeah.
that
abilities.
and you know, if his arm gets chopped off, he's like, fucking my arm's chopped off.
Yeah.
Versus if Michael gets his arm chopped
He's
off,
bleeding out.
yeah,
Eventually, he has to. He's a
he
human.
has to.
It
Yeah.
makes
And
sense.
Jason is like he's all dead and
Yeah.
all fucked up and shit.
So let's take that and move on. What if we put him up against Freddy Krueger? Where do we go then?
All right, so are we gonna incorporate the movie, or are we just gonna go straight off of what we think?
Let's do both. Let's start with what you think.
All right, so I think that Jason is fucking Freddy up. One, if a bunch of little fucking kids in high school could kick your ass and pull you out of your dream, do you think an immortal Jason in your dream is not going to be able to pull you out?
You had a point there.
And then
I would
after
have to
that,
agree.
it's like, yeah, Robert Englund, you're a skinny guy. You can move around a little bit. You can
Right.
finesse. Freddy Krueger, you can finesse a little bit. But Jason is just a behemoth. He's going to take your fucking head off with one punch. You're dead.
Yeah. No, I would agree.
Okay. Let's get a little weird.
Oh.
Jason versus Jeepers Creepers.
Ooh.
Creepers has those wings. If he eats one of Jason's arms or something, who knows what will happen?
I'm thinking. I think I'm biased because I do love the Jeepers Creepers more. So I would probably go with Jeepers Creepers.
Okay, how? How would he win?
Because he's still like an unknown. We don't know that he's a human or anything. I mean, he's got the wings and everything, right? So whatever the fuck he is,
You think maybe he could just like pick him up with his feet
Yeah,
or something
just
and
yeet him
fly his
across
ass
the
away?
room.
And just be like,
Yeah.
fuck it, I'm gonna fly you to some water, bitch.
well, I mean, if there was a way that he could restrain, then he could chop him
And
up.
let's be clear. Some of these people, like Jason, they're not gonna die. So a win doesn't necessarily mean that he has to die.
That's true.
A win in my book is if Jeepers Creepers picks Jason up, he flies him to a fucking ocean and he drops his ass in.
Yeah.
Jeepers Creepers won.
Yeah. I'm just biased to Jeepers Creepers.
I'm still
I
gonna
love
say
him.
Jason.
Of course.
I'm saying Jason. So as soon as Jeepers Creepers flies in and grabs him, because he's so fast when he flies, I think he's gonna be able to grab him. What is Jason gonna do? Like just sit there and be like, "Oh, he's grabbing me, and we're fine." I think he's gonna be holding his machete in his right hand,
That's true.
and he's just gonna chop his leg off, chop the other one off, and he's gonna fall.
Yeah, and Jeepers is going to be not very happy about that. He spent a lot of time collecting that foot.
Yeah, he's gonna
Yeah.
have to go eat a couple more.
Yeah.
After he cuts off his feet, Jeepers Creepers will either be flying still, or he will result to that little hopping thing that he did. You remember in the movie when he was hopping? So he would hop his ass over to Jason and get fucked up some more. Now,
Fair.
if that scenario were to happen, how would Jason recover from the fall? I feel like he's gonna just be laying there and then fucking wake up and stand up and walk away.
But let's see if he was dropped in the ocean. He's going to have to do all that swimming.
Okay, if
back.
he was dropped in the ocean, he loses
Okay, fair.
because
I'll
Jeepers
take that
Creepers.
one.
Yeah, he's
I'm
not.
rooting for the ocean.
All right, so let's leave Jason there.
Okay.
Let's grab two new people.
Okay.
Ghostface versus Leatherface. The battle of the faces.
Ooh. I'm going with Leatherface.
I'm going with Leatherface
Okay,
too. He has a
I
fucking
feel like that was
chainsaw
kind of
versus a
easy.
kitchen knife,
Yeah.
but it was like kind of on the same wavelength. a
Yeah,
little
no,
bit.
I agree.
All right, who do you think? We can do like Leprechaun versus Chucky.
Ooh. I hate that little leprechaun, but I think I'd go with Chucky.
You'll take Chucky over the Leprechaun?
I think so.
How would he win?
He
Leprechaun
scares the
has
fuck out of me though.
Chucky.
Yeah. Over the leprechaun?
I used to have nightmares about the Leprechaun a lot.
He was just
as a
kind of
kid.
ugly looking. I didn't think he was
Ugly
scary,
as
but he's
fuck.
ugly.
But the thing that made
Chucky
him
was scary. I
scary.
had dolls. So it was like the relationship for me. You know, you as a guy didn't have dolls, but I was looking at my dolls with a side eye all the time. You know, like what you
So
doing?
you remember the Buddy doll?
Yeah.
That the Chucky Buddy doll.
Mhm.
So
Did
growing
you
up,
have one?
we had one, and it was in the closet in the spare room at my godmom's house.
Yeah.
And I remember one particular summer, I was over there. My godmom, she would leave the house at like 6 o'clock in the morning, maybe earlier to get to work. And it's the summertime. I'm up all night. I'm like 13. I was watching horror movies. I was scared to fucking death in that room. Every single time I closed my eyes to try to go to sleep, I pictured Jason chopping me up. I pictured Freddy killing me. And I'll tell you why. I'm laying in the bed. I turn the lights off. It's probably like 2 a.m. It's the summertime. My godmom, she keeps it hot as fuck. It's probably like 83 in the house. I'm fucking melting.
Oof.
I'm sweating. I got the cold sweats because I'm scared. And then the closet was open just a little bit. What face did I see at the top of the fucking closet? The buddy doll, man, staring back at me into my soul. Woo! I was fucking terrified.
Would be, yep.
So every time I close my eyes, I freak the fuck out. So I kept watching movies. I put on, this is how you know I'm telling the truth. I put on Flight of the Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
That movie's like 2 hours long. It's not scary at all. You know, I was hoping that movie, I was going to fall asleep to it. Flight of the Phoenix plays through. I watched the whole thing. Still, every time I close my eyes, I freaked out. So by this time, it's like 5:30, almost 6 o'clock. My godmom's up. She leaves. As soon as I hear that garage door shut, I go and jump in her bed. The light, you know, the lights are on. The sun's out. It's early in the morning. It's the summer.
That's so funny.
I'm like, all right, the sun's up. I'm finally going to bed because I'm not terrified.
Right.
My godmom, she's like, man, she ended up coming back. So I'm sleeping and I hear the garage door open. I freaked the fuck out because I didn't think she was coming home. And she comes in there and she starts laughing. She's like, what are you doing in my bed? I was like, Mindy, I was scared as fuck.
Oh,
I could not go to sleep. And she just started busting up laughing. She goes, I got to work, sat in a parking lot and was like, fuck this. I'm going back home.
That's funny. You know, and mentioning that, I feel like I was thinking about something the other day that's kind of like that. Do you ever have one of those Furby little dolls, like those
with the ears and shit?
Yeah. I feel like almost everybody had one that worked without batteries.
Always like motion sensor.
Yeah.
And they do the little walk. And
I'm like, the batteries have been removed and the terminals are crusted. Like, why is my Furby working? I remember when I finally got that out of my closet, I felt like I cleansed the house of like demonic spirit.
You have to walk around with sage and shit.
Yeah, there's some kind of weirdness going on with Furby dolls. They're not made right.
You know, we all have our things that we're absolutely terrified from. When I say all, I mean all of us horror movie fanatics.
Oh yeah.
We have our things that scare us. All right, back to the one-on-ones. Who are we choosing next? So we got who'd we take, Chucky over Leprechaun? You said you'd take Chucky. I'm taking Leprechaun.
All right.
And because of this, Chucky is a weak little bitch. Most of us could take his ass out. Leprechaun has powers.
That's true, but Chucky's running around with a knife and shit. And what if he gets a hold of a gun?
The Leprechaun could just cast a spell and take the gun. He's a cheater.
He is a cheater.
Yeah.
And that's why I think it's unfair, and I'm going with Chucky.
All right, that's a wash. We'll move on. Because if you put either one up against almost anybody else, they're done. So who cares? Who do you think? Who would be a nice one-on-one matchup that you would like to see?
Let's do something with, what will we put the Exorcist girl with?
Exorcist versus Pinhead.
Taking Pinhead.
I'm taking Pinhead too.
Because she's confined to her room anyway.
Yeah, she's like all sick and fucked up. She's just like, she has a bad mouth, you know?
Yeah.
She didn't necessarily go around killing everybody.
And if you're not in the house, I don't think you're having any problems with her.
And Hellraiser is a Cenobite, I believe. And he's just going to come in probably with his crew, or if he's by himself. Yeah, she's done.
Yeah, I agree. What else you got on here?
I feel like they'll be homies though.
We could figure something
Hannibal Lecter.
Ooh.
Versus Leatherface.
Ooh.
Or were you thinking something else?
I was gonna take a minute to think of something else, but
all right, take your time.
No. Let's go with what you picked because it'll take me too long.
Leatherface again.
I would agree. Is it for the majority of the movie?
Okay, let's do Hannibal Lecter versus. See, Hannibal Lecter is not necessarily like,
he wasn't really the scary
a one-on-one. Yeah, he was like a psychological.
Movie.
I'm gonna set you out.
It was the other guy. What was his name?
The weird dude.
It was the weird dude.
Was a girl. And
yeah,
that shit was.
Like now we were both like thinking about that.
Yeah, because as soon as you think weird, it's like a dude that acts like a woman, but he's like quiet about it. You know, that's fucking a little weird. I'm gonna get some hate. I'm gonna get some hate messages.
We are. We didn't mean it like that.
I'm talking about just the movie. That dude in particular is a fucking weirdo. He
Well,
did
weirded
such
me
a good
out as
job in that
kid
movie.
because I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You know, as a kid, you're like, so what are you doing? Are you being a-"
He's dancing and shit. He's already
Yeah.
weird, and he's putting on his lipstick. And,
Yeah.
you know,
we
the
need to
songs
quit when we're
going and
ahead,
shit.
to be
Yeah.
honest. Fuck.
Raw and uncut, baby. All right, but Hannibal Lecter, yeah, if you put him up against almost anybody, I feel like he's gonna lose. He's a little bit older. He is, hey, I'll eat your fucking face off, and he's slick with it. But I feel like in a one-on-one matchup, he's just not really gonna go too
What
far.
about, you know, and I'm not thinking about like pairing up Hannibal Lecter, but I was just thinking, what about that? Have you seen that guy from the Split movies? Where it was Split and then it reverted back to Glass.
Which one?
So it's just the Split one, but he's kind of the same.
The guy with the personalities,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, what will we could pair him up because he's got some special powers going on.
Him versus Leatherface.
I'm taking him.
I'm taking Leatherface.
Really?
He did turn into a big ass monster, was taking doors off the walls and shit.
Yeah.
But Leatherface has a fucking chainsaw and he's big. He's
Right.
chainsaw his ass off.
True, but he did kind of have a resistance to at least minor cuts and stuff like that.
A chainsaw,
I'm not saying. I'm getting to the point here. We're wrapping around it. Okay,
he's gonna have one hell of a chance.
I would agree because he's got some super. He's got some super like strength going on.
Yes,
stuff like that.
I was gonna say
he's a little smarter than Leatherface.
Yes,
he's kind of a dumbass.
He's a dumbass.
Yeah, he's just running around all the time. Like that's all he wants to do.
I feel like the biggest X factor would be the dude from Split being able to tap into that personality at the right time.
Oh yeah.
Because if he doesn't, he's fucked. If he turns into like the little priest dude,
right,
or whatever
right,
the fuck, he's getting
right.
chainsawed
But
up.
I think towards the end of the movie, he was in that phase unless you knew the trigger to pull him out. So he was perpetually.
Was that in Glass or
was in
I think it was
Split?
I've never seen Glass. The newest one with Bruce Willis, Samuel. I've never seen that one.
Okay, that's.
I might have to check it out.
That's okay. You should watch it because did you see the first one too? It was
when I was little. When I was
watch
little.
it because it really
watch them all together.
Yeah, like I didn't see the relationship until I watched them all together, and I was like, oh.
I think almost everybody did it.
It was really well done. Like, wasn't that M. Night Shyamalan?
Yeah.
That was like some of the best shit I've seen him put together.
The fact that those movies were like, what, 20, 25 years apart or some shit
that's
made
crazy.
It even
well, because I
weirder.
think he had like a point about it, about like the kid growing up.
Mm-hmm.
So the kid was like 5
when
when something happened to him. I can't remember the exact details. I think it had something to do with like the past story related to why it had to be an actual length of time, which I think is cool.
Made
when they
it even
do that.
more wild.
Yeah, when they do that in our life, they're not just like 25 years later, you know, they're like, they do it, they make us live the 25 years. You know what I mean? That's crazy.
When you could, that's crazy dedication.
Yeah.
Especially with the money chase in the movie industry.
He could have just put it out like that, but maybe it wouldn't have been as successful because that was a different time period.
Yes.
And then like I was learning in my classes, different things scare us at different moments of time.
Oh man, that's a great segment to go off of. Okay, so what do you think is that time now? Have you guys learned that?
You know, especially with like the COVID-19, I think we've got a real issue with like viral kind of fears and stuff like
viral
that.
infections and stuff like that.
And
so
even
zombie,
if it turns into a zombie, worse, because that's still, you know, especially if you look back these last couple of years, we were talking just about like M. Night Shyamalan. He did that one thing where the trees were blowing a disease around and people were happening.
Yeah.
But when you think about that, there's been a lot of those based on environmental issues causing us to lose our mind, or some kind of, you know, bodily infection causing us to lose our mind. So I think that's what we're scared of right now, is like the environment turning on us, which I wouldn't blame it if it did, and our own bodies turning on us.
Yeah.
So I think that's our big fear right now.
I would want to say like the 2010s was zombies. It was the horror genre was so defined on zombies, many zombie movies, and the leap of the zombie craze just was ridiculous. I'm assuming it had to do with The Walking Dead and the fame that was generated from that.
Everyone wanted a piece of the zombie. Success.
Yeah. Oh my God, we love zombies now.
Yeah, and I think it was because of the success of The Walking Dead that people flocked towards more zombie movies, because they wanted what they were getting out of The Walking Dead.
They wanted more. They wanted more of it. Oh, that's one hell of a point. Yeah, maybe so.
Yeah,
but I've never looked at it like that. Give me that kind of continuation. Let me think of in my mind that this is the same world.
Yeah.
This is just, they're in Atlanta or Washington or whatever the fuck they are. I'm in like LA. I'm in Wyoming.
Right.
Rick is on the East Coast doing his
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's cool. That's one cool way of looking at it. And I feel like George Romero definitely has to get a lot of credit for that.
Mhm.
The godfather of the zombie movie. And have you seen Night of the Living Dead? The 1990 version. So the remake with Tony Todd.
I did not see the remake. I saw the original. We had to watch it
In
in
black
class.
and white.
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually really liked it.
So the remake with Tony Todd is one of, I would probably say, top 3 or top 5 zombie horror movies of all time.
Okay.
I feel like they just nailed it. The way people were reacting in the movie, the scare factor, the realization that, hey, these zombies are slow, man. We could go right around them.
Mm-hmm.
But when fear is overtaking your body, you're
yeah.
almost in a frozen state.
Exactly.
That, yeah, they could be walking damn near at a children's pace. But I'm so scared inside. I don't want to fucking face it.
Right. And they outnumber you. Too.
Oh, yes.
So you might be running from this guy that way and another one's walking his ass.
And
up
then
to you.
what? Yeah.
Yeah. Then you got to pick another direction.
Or what if you just stop running? You've been running for 3, 4, 5 miles, and then a swarm is there.
Yeah.
And then that desperation sets in, and your body is fatigued. You're gasping for air, but yet you have 100 undead bodies coming at you to tear you apart.
It's terrifying, especially if you find yourself in close quarters too.
Oh, you're fucked.
Yeah, easily.
Zombies or vampires? What do you like more? Who do you think would win? And let me clarify. Like 5 vampires, 100 zombies.
Ugh. I'm going with the zombies, I think.
Do you think they'd win?
Yeah. Just because they're already dead. What's the vampire gonna do?
Cut their head off?
Well, I mean, I guess.
Punch their head off, maybe?
Well, when you put it like that, and then the vampires would have like cognitive ability. The zombies wouldn't be able to be like, well, how do I kill this thing?
Mm-hmm. See, my thing would be because technically vampires are undead too, right?
Yeah.
So what happens if a vampire bites a zombie or vice versa? Because in
maybe
my
it would
mind,
just like cancel itself out.
I think that vampires turn into a zombie vampire.
That would be kind of cool.
But I think if a vampire bites a zombie, nothing will happen.
Okay, what do you do if you throw like werewolves in the mix?
Who do I think would win?
Yeah.
Still zombies, man.
The zombies are winning?
Yeah, but it has to be quantity specific. If you're saying 5 zombies and 5 vampires, of course the vampires are going to kick their fucking ass.
Sure.
But if you're saying 100 zombies in close quarters versus 5 vampires.
Mm-hmm. Which one scares you more?
Give me a second to think.
Okay.
You tell me.
I mean, I guess I don't know. I've never been really afraid of the vampire. He's always kind of cool to me. You know, he's kind of dark and mysterious. In a lot of movies, he's kind of a sexy guy too.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Van Helsing
you're one of those chicks that like, oh, let Dracula bring his fine ass over
Twilight
here. I'm gonna let him bite me.
They're not attractive at all. Like I can't do it with that Edward character. He looks like a potato with hair. I can't. But you know, if we're watching Van Helsing and fucking what's his name?
Hugh Jackman.
With
his long hair,
I love Hugh. I'm
shit.
like, oh yeah, Hugh Jackman. I love that.
Ooh, Hugh Jackman, man, you a lady.
But he
man.
wasn't even the vampire. He was the vampire slayer. But then I was like, if he's protecting me, I'm good. You know.
All right.
But I would say I think zombies. Yeah, zombies scare me the most because what if you get, if it's viral, there's some movies where if they scratch you, like you get it, they bite you, you get it. Not to mention if you don't get it and make the transformation, they're just going to eat you alive and pull out your insides, all that kind of shit. And then I know you had something to say, but I'm going to cut you off.
Oh, I'm still thinking. Go ahead.
And then we have these new movies, which personally I'm not a fan of, but the zombies can run.
I don't like that.
What do you do when the zombies can run?
You die.
Yeah. Or like that one where like they band together as like this human wave of people. Have you seen that?
Yes.
Yeah. That's like, okay, so I just give up then.
Run very fast in the opposite direction.
Exactly.
See, the thing that I don't like about the running zombies, and I know I can't say it's not realistic because I mean zombies aren't
Yeah.
really, but in the realm of zombie, George Romero's zombies. Yes, other people could have their different variations, but when you think of zombies, zombies don't run. You know, when a zombie, when a person turns into a zombie, their entire body shuts down and the only thing they know is eat.
Yeah.
So why in the fuck did something trigger in their brain to where, hey, I was a fat person before this and now I'm a fucking track star because I'm dead. That doesn't make sense to me.
You know, the one that I liked is I think it was 28 weeks later, because days later is the one where he cuts his arm off because he went hiking.
Nah, 28 days later and then a sequel 28 weeks later.
Okay, so it's that one. That's the one I like.
They're both
when they
good.
kind of, because I was thinking of that. Oh, 20, it was like 28 hours. Never
28
mind.
hours,
Okay,
yeah, when
that's
the
one.
hiker and got the arm stuck and shit.
It's too many numbers. But yeah, that's
Too many
those
movies.
are true. Those are the ones where I like, where they still have to conform to the kind of mindless walking, but it's more of like a crazy kind of zombie where they're, you know, they're out to kill as well. Those are kind of the ones that I like, because the regular zombie, the mindless kind of moseys about, doesn't really reach quickly. That doesn't scare me. I'm gonna get out the chainsaw and have a field day. I'm Leatherface.
I feel
on their
that,
ass.
but I prefer that type of zombie.
Oh no, I do. I don't want them running, but the
Because-
ones that from the 28.
Oh yeah, it's
that scares me.
terrifying.
That
Yeah.
scares me the most. Just don't run.
On Day of the Dead, they were running and climbing on walls and the ceiling and
That's
shit.
so
and
much,
I was like,
because-
what is going? They got superpowers from
Yeah,
dying?
yeah. And I was like, so that, you know, it's a virus or whatever, and now their body's deteriorating, but they can climb better than I
Yeah,
can.
if your muscles are
You ain't doing shit.
deteriorating
not
and
doing
your
anything.
bone density is deteriorating
Yeah.
as well, you're not gonna move as fluid as you would before. If you don't have your mind behind you, you're not gonna be able to move as forward as before.
Yeah.
The only argument I could have is maybe their endurance is not a factor anymore because they are dead. So maybe they can walk
But yeah,
or
they don't
run
have to
forever.
breathe
Yeah.
like we have to, or get fatigue or whatever.
So I
but
could
still.
understand them going and going and going and going, but as far as being able to move your body better, I don't agree with that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, me neither. But then would you consider the like creatures from I Am Legend zombies? How do you view them?
Those are not zombies.
You wouldn't see them as zombies.
I would. I
Just
think,
like mutations, essentially.
Yeah.
Okay.
They
No, I would agree with that.
in I Am Legend, the cancer treatment kind of formed with your cells, creating some type of mutant entity.
like a superhuman, but not.
Yeah, like your body. Maybe the stuff that they injected into themselves kind of deteriorated some cells in the body, and then super escalated or
Yeah.
upgraded the other cells in the body. Maybe that's why they have skin disorders or
Oh yeah, they can't be out in the sun.
yeah, scared of the sun, shit
Mhm.
like that. But yeah, they could run really fast and jump
True.
really high and shit. So I kind of like that idea.
No, me too.
It was a good movie, and
Mhm.
putting Will Smith in
When
kind
the
of
dog
horror movie
died.
was cool. Yeah, that was the co-star. You get Will Smith and you get a dog.
That was the only thing. I was like, well, if they get Will Smith, that's fine. But they got
Oh,
the dog.
They got Will
the
Smith too,
dog.
or did Will Smith get himself?
It was on the other day, but I didn't watch it because I've seen it too many times, but I can't remember.
He blows himself up with
Does
the
he?
grenade. Yeah, he puts the girl and the kid in the safe, and then he holds a grenade and blows up the zombies. I think he could have gotten a safe. There is a
Oh, it's like the Titanic
alternate ending.
Argument. I think he could
That
have
wood
fit on
was
the raft.
that wood was not staying afloat.
That's my point. She was wearing that big ball gown. You know, when that gets wet, it weighs a ton.
Mm-hmm. I'm surprised she stayed up,
There
but
was
she was
room,
a skinny white woman,
But
so
there wasn't enough buoyancy.
Yeah. There's calculations to this shit, and a certain amount of weight
Yeah.
density.
Doesn't matter how much
you
space
put it
you
together.
have. If it's too heavy,
The rafter's bigger.
it's too heavy.
If-
No.
If it's big enough, everybody can float on it.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't work like that.
No.
I don't know. I think I would have
I'm
got
glad
my
you
ass
agree.
on that fucking door though.
Mhm.
I would have found another door. I don't know.
You
There's
had plenty of time.
I don't
There's-
know. He
yeah.
was freezing his ass off.
Yeah, but you've got a couple minutes. It's gonna start slowing down real quick. I'm not saying you got like half an hour. You got.
Oh
a
no,
couple
you have like
minutes.
45 seconds to figure out
Figure
what the fuck
something
you're
out.
doing.
Yeah.
Because she was so cold. Why are we talking about the Titanic?
I don't know. That's not
Sorry.
even scary. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a little scary.
It was
the
scary
shit going down.
because she took the fucking door and
It
let
was
him
scary
die.
because they turned it into a romance thing, and I was bored. I was bored to tears.
I was in it for the titties as a kid.
Okay.
I was like, they show titties in it. I'm watching. Draw the titties. Where's it coming? Man, come back in an hour 30. That's when the titties appear. But back to the horror movies, man. What is something coming out that you know of, even though COVID is kind of fucking everything up? But what's a new scary movie coming out that you are excited for?
I'm really looking forward to the second part of, what was it? A Quiet Place, I believe.
Yes.
A Quiet Place. Yeah. And I would like to see a sequel of Bird Box, to be honest.
With Sandra Bullock again?
Yeah. I just love her. I love her. And I thought it was so good.
Yeah. I don't know if they could see through the blindfold as in like when they're filming.
Right.
But they're doing a good ass job with their eyes covered and moving around and shit. That would be a hard movie to film.
Acting. Yeah. Act blind. Okay. Like
I used to be blonde, so don't. But Bird Box, would you consider that horror or a thriller? That kind of goes along with like your deepest fears and shit like that too, right?
I think it would depend on the person as well. Like if that scares you. But there was kind of like a zombie-ish element to it. Like these people go and they start to like, they see something, and that's
Then
what
they're
makes them want
mindless
to. And they kill themselves. So in that sense, it's kind of zombie-ish. You've lost control of your autonomy. And that's kind of like one of the things we talk about in class is like fear of autonomy is one of our greatest fears. And so I would use that logic to kind of constitute it as a horror film.
Shit,
Dropping all the knowledge. Now you don't know what to do.
I'm just going to sit here and admire. I'm taking mental notes right now.
You should take the class. Anybody who goes to UNLV should take it. It's just fun. Even if you just want an extra A.
See, the way my time is set up.
It's so much fun.
I know.
You don't even have to go to class.
But when you throw a kid into the equation, it's just like, how much do I want to have fun versus having that free time?
That's true. I mean, all you'd have to do is set aside time to watch horror movies, which I know you're doing anyway. So
yeah, I do.
You would just be told what you have to watch.
I'm on movie number 20 tonight.
Very cool. Oh yeah, because you were doing one a month, weren't you?
One per day.
Or one a day. That's
month.
what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah, and
awesome.
Because my time is a bit constrained, sometimes if I can't get a movie in, I'll watch an episode of The Haunting of Bly Manor.
I just started that the other day.
What episode are you on?
Oh shit! Please don't ruin it.
I'm not.
I just watched that one where we were doing the back story of the first maid. Okay. So that's like episode maybe 3 or 4.
Okay, I believe I'm on 4 or 5. So I'm not.
Okay, so we're not that far apart.
How do you like it?
I liked it so far.
Yeah.
To be honest, I didn't think the haunting of Hill House, I don't think that was scary. When I went back and I saw the frozen scenes of the ghosts hiding in different spots, then I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. But I didn't find it scary at all.
Okay, I guess I'm on the opposite spectrum as you.
That's crazy. I really thought it was terrifying.
The Haunting of Hill House was scarier to me. It had its scary moments. The Haunting of Bly Manor so far to me has honestly been very fucking boring.
No, I think it's been interesting, but it hasn't been. If you're looking for something scary and you're looking for that horror aspect, it's lacking. Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm only halfway through. It's 10 episodes, yeah?
Something like that. Just one season, so.
I'm hoping it gets better because I'm investing my time and I hate wasting my time. But that's the thing with horror movies. If you're a true horror fanatic, I'm saying probably 7 out of 10 are bad.
Yeah. No, it's a gamble.
You got to find a 3 out of 10 and hold them dear to your heart. But The Haunting of Hill House set the tone and set the bar so high for me that I had expectations coming into this show of Bly Manor, and they're just not doing it for me yet.
I agree.
That's not to say that the back half of the season is any better. But right now, it's just not hitting right for me.
Yeah, no, I didn't like The Haunting of Hill House. I thought it was very boring. So I think that's why I'm a little more impressed with this one. It's not, it hasn't been scary, but it's been intriguing and interesting. It has me coming back every day to see what happens next.
Yeah.
So for me, that's all I need.
I can dig it. I can dig it. There was something I was just about to ask and I can't remember.
What?
I've asked you this question, I believe multiple times, but I'm going to ask it again. I say it to everybody. Have you seen Black Summer?
Black Summer. I don't think so. That doesn't ring a bell.
It's on Netflix. It's a zombie show. I believe there's 10 episodes.
It sounds familiar.
It's a must watch.
Is there like kids involved? Like the kids are the main characters or something?
No.
Like that? Okay, I might
No.
be mixing it up with something else.
So it seems like almost every episode has to deal with a different group of characters all trying to meet at this one place.
That's supposed to be like
that's where the
place.
safety zone
Yeah.
is. So you have these different characters and it's following a story. You know, the main characters of episode 2, you may see them for 35 seconds in the prior episode, but it like all goes together and it kept me on the edge of my seat. I was very, very, very engaged with it. I didn't pick up my phone. I love that show.
Okay, good. I will have to check that out because
season is definitely coming for it.
Okay. All right, I'll check it out for sure.
Have you seen Stranger Things?
I love Stranger Things. I did. I thought it was cute.
You watched all of it?
Oh yeah. It's not scary at all, but I thought it was interesting and I loved it. And I really bought it with the characters because, like I said, I tell you all the time, it was like really spoke to me. And I think it's because of that, the kid aspect. Friendship dynamic for me is like, just like and then the 80s too. I always bond with 80s movies.
80s slasher, man. That's my shit.
Yeah. Not the slashers.
So the kid dynamic, I think it gives us that way to remember our childhood, the laughs that we had, the things that we talk about, the silly topics that we always talked about. And it kind of gives us those flashback memories, those vivid memories that we had as a kid where we can relate. So I think you kind of get a grasp and a love for the characters more because of that.
Yeah, and
plus nobody wants to see a kid die. Sorry.
No, that's true. No, you're good. I was just gonna say it's just kind of like the argument I made with it is like it puts you in the perspective of a kid where you're fighting this thing that mommy and daddy can't make go away.
Yeah.
And that's what adds really like the extra layer of fear. Mommy and daddy can't make this go away. And that's terrifying when you're a kid and
your savior can't save you.
Exactly. And when you're watching it through their lens, I think that makes you kind of take on that same mindset. Like I'm a kid in this movie right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, kind of like an outer body experience if you are invested enough.
That's true. I think that's what horror movies need. Like, that's why for me, it's the theater that really does it for me.
Yes.
Because they've got the volume all the way up. It's dark and it's almost like they put you in the movie too. And that's why I think movies scare me more in a theater setting than maybe at home, or like during the day. Nothing scares me really during the day.
Yeah.
Except maybe visitors that I didn't say could come over. That's terrifying.
Girl, when my doorbell goes off for no reason, I flip the fuck out.
You better be
Dogs
Amazon.
Are going crazy
I swear to God.
shit.
It better be Amazon.
Speaking of Amazon, my fucking camera is supposed to be here tomorrow.
I have something coming to my house today too, so brace out.
I'm getting excited. Back to the movie theaters. That's one thing about COVID that's making me a bit sad. I'm such a movie theater person.
Love it.
Love it. That ever since being a kid all the way up until now, going to the movies has been my thing. Like you said, you get that different interaction and that feeling with the movie. Like for instance, I seen the movie Avatar in IMAX 3D and I refused to ever watch it again.
Thank God you said that.
It was
I was
just
worried.
Why?
I was worried you were gonna say it was a beautiful movie and I loved it.
It was.
No,
hey,
I hated
IMAX
Avatar.
3D. You seen all the colors and shit. And it was just it was beautiful.
Generated though.
That computer generated so fucking perfectly. But anyways, back to the movie theaters.
Sorry.
They have to go over and beyond. The movie theaters have been damn near the same other than the upgrading of the seats for the last 100 years damn near.
Yeah, we finally got recliners in like the last 2 years or something.
Yes.
Like good for
they
them.
have to take it to the next level like we were talking about before. Incorporating smells, say you're watching a movie and they're in a pig farm. I want to smell the stink. If they're in a movie and it's raining, I want to feel the moisture in the air.
The fog rolls in, we get the fog machine on.
When is that gonna happen?
I think that would be cool, especially when they do this with like roller coaster rides with like the 4D.
Yes.
They put the speakers right behind your head. So when the characters are walking and you've got characters behind the main character that the camera's focused on, you can hear the other characters walking behind you.
Yeah.
I think they should do that. I
They
think that
have
would bring a new
to,
level.
because with streaming becoming a big thing and movies or
Or like the virtual video games too.
yeah, all of that, the
Yeah.
VR, the
They
Oculus.
got to compete with that.
Mm-hmm. So why would somebody say, okay, let me get up and go to the movie theaters, or I could just watch this at my house?
Yeah.
Because the new movies the rights are being sold to Netflix
Exactly.
and Amazon. So the movie theaters have to do something to compete with
Right.
that.
And now it's going to be cheaper because you can stay home and make your own popcorn and get your own soda. You don't have to go to the movie for
Exactly.
that.
Was I talking to you about them dropping the prices of the food and
They
drinks?
probably should.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I'm going to the movies on Thursday. It cost me $20 to get a large soda and a popcorn.
Oh, good gosh.
I was like, why don't I just sneak it in?
Mhm.
It's almost weather. I could pull off the pregnancy. You know,
Shit,
it's my soda.
me too. I just got a big ass belly. That's all it
Yeah,
is.
there, the dad bod.
There was a time I was in line. I took my little cousin and her friends to go see a scary movie. It was all little girls, and I was telling them to hold their drinks and shit underneath their coat. Just
Mhm.
hold it, and I will take care of it. I'll pay for the shit. You just get the stuff in. So one of the little girls dropped a glass bottle in line and it fucking explodes. It like falls from under her jacket and explodes into line.
Oh my god!
Everybody looks over. It's echoing in the casino, and I'm just like, "Oh,
Where'd you get that?
scoot up a little bit. Don't drop another
It's
one."
not ours.
Good times, good times.
That's funny.
Yeah, man, that was a good little episode.
Yeah, it was.
Spitting and talking our shit about our horror movies. Love for horror movies. It just runs deep in my blood, and I don't think it's ever gonna
agree.
go away. It's passed down to my daughter already.
I don't know where I got it from. My parents, no. My mom, she gets scared at Hocus Pocus.
Oh wow.
And then my dad's
We're
like,
gonna dance all night.
ugh. My dad's like, oh, that's too gory for me. I don't get it. Like, shut up.
I want you to just cut that motherfucker's head off slowly.
Yeah.
Because the fact that it's not real means that I can enjoy it and laugh at it and giggle and say holy shit or cringe out. Horror movies are the shit.
Yeah, no, I love them. Can't wait. I hope I have a kid who's like, I love horror movies. I'm gonna be like, let me put you on real quick.
It's conflicting for me.
Yeah.
Because my daughter is 3.5. She understands everything that's going on. But trying to explain to her that horror movies are fake is tough.
Oh yeah, especially when you get to the good, like, special effects and shit. It really looks like somebody's losing their arm or something in the movie.
But she's so fascinated. She gets scared.
Yeah.
I asked her every time, hey, do you want me to turn it off? No. Don't turn it off.
That was me.
I was like, are you scared? Yes. Turn it off? No.
That was me. That's so funny.
So I enjoy it. It's something that I'm very passionate about and I like, and I see the art and the creativity in it. Or sometimes I just like to watch people get chopped the fuck up. It's depending on how I'm feeling. Instead of
in a bad mood or something, you want to see somebody get tortured other than you for
exactly.
a minute.
Instead of me doing it, let me go watch a fictional movie about it. Saw 2.
Let's go.
It's going fucking crazy tonight. I've had a bad day. Put the lady in the pit. Throw her in the fucking pit.
I hate that.
Yeah. So yeah, horror movies, they serve their purpose. But yeah, I appreciate you getting back on the podcast. I'm sure I'm going to see you again. You're going to be a frequent flyer and we're going to talk our shit all the time. Tell us this your time to tell us about you. Tell us about your store, where to find you, your social medias. This your time to shine.
Perfect. Yeah. So like I was on last time, Desert Oasis Treasures. That's all you have to type in onto Etsy, just Desert Oasis and Treasures, no trick spelling or anything like that. And it's all one word. That'll bring you to my store. I have a lot of cool stuff, lots of Golden Knight stuff like we talked about, all handmade. It's all gold plated or silver plated, so you don't have to worry if you get earrings. They're not going to make your ear break out or anything like that. And then I do some other stuff too. I know my butterfly anklets are really, really popping right now. I do like a lot of sales in the butterfly anklets.
In October or with the holidays coming, do you make any like holiday specific jewelry?
I wanted to. I didn't have time to get into Halloween. I had some cute little candy corns. I want to make little candy corn earrings, but I just didn't have the time. But I do have Christmas. I do some Christmas like charm bracelets. I also have this cute necklace. It's a snow globe. And then there's a little Christmas tree on the inside. It comes with matching earrings. It's really cute.
That does sound pretty cute.
Yeah.
after having a daughter, I could say cute a lot.
Yeah.
I say it probably about 15 times a day
That's
to my
cute.
buddies and shit. Hey man, that's cute. They look at me, they're like, Levi, if they don't have kids, they're like, Levi, what the fuck? Don't say that shit to me. But if they have kids, they're like,
Yeah, it is
yeah,
kinda
man,
cute.
it is kind of cute. Oh yeah, man. So yes, Stephanie has some dope ass jewelry. Check it out. She has some dope ass Golden Knights, Vegas.
Mhm.
She's repping Vegas to the fullest. Support this girl. Check out her store. Buy some shit. The holidays are coming up. So all the guys watching, get your girl something. I've had multiple females hit me up and say, damn, her jewelry is actually pretty fire. So check it out. Check it out.
Thank you.
But I appreciate it. That sums it up for another Halloween edition of Talk Smack with Mac. This your boy Mac. Stephanie, I appreciate it again. Peace.
Let's talk smack. Let's talk.